Hello amazing ghouls and humans, and today let's unbox Rochelle Swim Class and discuss some controversial stuff about where we as Monster High fandom ended up in 2024. And I want to start this video with a short story of how I got Pennywise and Grady twins and what a horrible story it was. I can't say that I left fandom at some point of my life, but there was some time of the lull when I would not follow any Instagram accounts. I would just kind of enjoy my dolls silently in my room. And it was since 2015, 16, something like this, and ending with 2019. And oh my god, I wanted to save the box, but sadly the scotch is not original, it's from the seller, and it seems like I will have to cut it not to damage the box more, because I want to save all the things that hold the doll to be able to return her if at some point I want. Not so long ago, before COVID, it was like the end of 2018, the beginning of 2019, I kind of got a strange soul call, and I decided to return to Monster High fandom. It all started with the fact that I was in metro, in my earphones, trying to reduce noise, and an immediate thought just popped up in my mind that I need to buy Easy Down Dancer. From nothing, at that point she wasn't even like my dream doll. I kind of never really cared about her because there was too much hype around her, and there is too much hype about something. With a high probability I will get oversaturated with it and I will not like it. And so yeah, I went to my local second-hand market to search for Easy, and at that point she was still by the reasonable price, so I found her, I contacted the seller, I bought her, and it was the first doll in around 3 years, yes. And I was all happy and I put her on a shelf. I still had very small overcrowded shelf. I had around 100 dolls at that time, so not so much. And it was late July of 2018, I guess, when I got her or something. And after I started to gradually return to the fandom, I discovered Monster High Instagram. I discovered that all the groups that I would follow as a child were now dead, and I was very sad about it, but I realized that now with a kind of good level of English I can follow English-speaking creators, so I created an Instagram account dedicated to Monster High dolls. Before I would post there only BJD and Barbies, and I started posting Monster High, and it's kind of a backstory to this all. At that point the fandom, to be honest, it was so cool. I got to know a lot of new people, and I met my all-time best friend there with whom we still communicate, and it's like my all-time best friend, let's say like this. But yeah, I was enjoying time, and it seems like a lot of people returned to fandom at that time too, so I wasn't kind of like the only one. When I am talking with people now, I learn more and more that they returned to fandom pretty much at that time. So somehow we ended up having all these freshly returned nostalgic collectors, and it was a very cool time. It was a very cool time because dolls were kind of still affordable, and at that point I still didn't have an access to eBay or American marketplaces, including Mattel Creations. So I couldn't really buy the dolls myself. I didn't have this intermediary hub, I didn't have PayPal, I just didn't know how to create all this stuff, because I got used to that all the dolls, all the old dolls I can find on local second-hand markets, or I can find them through intermediaries, so like people who will buy them for me. And with Pennywise and Grady Twins I decided to do exactly the same. I decided to contact my kind of intermediary with whom I work at that time and ask to buy these dolls. And at that point I already knew that I really want to have two of each dolls, to leave one in box and to unbox one, because oh my god, the boxes are so incredible. It is very hard to decide whether I want to unbox them or not. So if it's a new release, not very expensive, I decided that I can let myself to have double. I said, okay, yes, great, you can. I prepaid the dolls and release happened. And my intermediary said that she didn't buy them because they were sold out very quickly. And that's true, the first batch, it was sold out like in a minute. And I guess this is the fault of Mattel Creations, mostly, because the release was organized horribly. They were all dropped at the same time. There was no opportunity to get both because like they got sold out in 1 minute. And I was very sad, and as I already paid to my intermediary and she said that like hold on, I will try to figure something out, maybe there will be some more drops, because they said that there will be more drops, kind of, let's wait. So I waited, and yes, there was the second release. What happened to the second release? It so happened that my intermediary overslept it. Just overslept it. She forgot about it. And okay, of course, we all are people. I totally understand it. Yes, I was pissed off. Yes, I was sad, but it could happen with everyone. So I was kind of sad, but again, Mattel announced that there will be more drops. Now without the posters, but still the dolls were the same. So we waited for the Amazon release. And Amazon release happened. And my intermediary kind of, I texted to her around 20 times. I even tried to call her. And no response, like, dolls are available, intermediary is not. Time, not only me was trying to connect with her, and we kind of managed to reach out to her, and she said that, oh my god, I am in a village, I can't do anything. And another intermediary, like, she passed to another intermediary, and that another intermediary tried to buy the dolls, but they were already sold out. Amazing. And kind of it so happened that I ended up without Pennywise and Grady Twins. And I mean, in the end I managed to get them, and I was even very lucky to get ones with the poster, and both posters are from the first batch, which is like something out of 500s. But it was still kind of pain to the scalpers, not amazing. And okay, well, I kind of hoped that after this there will be some silence, I will be able to recover with my budget, and if Mattel will release something more, they will wait. And I guess right after Pennywise and the Grady Twins, there was something else announced. And I was like, okay, fine. And after Mattel just started to kind of stamp dolls as crazy. If at first Mattel announced that there will be like one collector doll a month or even like in 2 months, I'm not sure, but we ended up having multiple at the same month. And nowadays, like even the collector pieces are releasing with such a speed that it is very difficult to keep up with them. And they all look like they were kind of created in 5 seconds and just directly thrown into production with all these Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V mermaid dresses and again Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V long hair, basically almost with no hairstyle, because when you're releasing so many dolls at once and when you really don't have any time gap between the releases, it is too easy to lose the quality. What I really liked about old Monster High is that each and every doll, it was very well thought. Even the budget lines, like you see that there was some incredible amount of effort, especially if we're talking about signature dolls. Because like when you have time to work on something, you can really put a lot of depth and story into the character. For example, for example, Rebecca, who has her own font, like the machine font, because she likes to type her diary. Or for example, Laguna, who has blue strikes in her hair, not because she dyes it, but because of the chlor in the swimming pool, which is actually true. If you are a very fair-haired person, your hair can get this bluish or greenish shade because of the water. And it's like very nice small details. And I'm not saying that G3 lost it completely, they still have something, but the dolls are releasing with such a speed that you really can't keep up with everything. Because I remember when it was the G1, you can kind of at least track each and every release. Like the last year it was crazy, but before it you could really think that every doll there was love and effort and motivation put into it. And now there is no way, for example, for the person out of US to get each and every release if it's not a multimillionaire, and not all the dolls are reaching shelves just because there is too much of them. Characters who just don't really make any sense, who are so random. For example, this new Lenore Lumington. Like, when I heard that they are releasing Lenore, I thought that there will be new collector doll by that movie, Lenore, and it would be very cool and it would fit the line. But we got a random doll in a Barbie-like long dress with absolutely no personality, in my opinion. I'm very sorry. Who is just out of nowhere, not belongs to any line. Like, I think if you, for example, want to pay attention to collectors who collect G1, you can release some G1 background character. There were plenty of interesting characters in the movies who never saw the light. Or you can kind of continue the Monster Exchange line, because there are so many countries and each country has its own folklore, and there is endless possibilities to release dolls out of different countries, and I'm sure there would be people who would be interested in them. But no, we are releasing a doll from a poem, alright. And she doesn't look like a student because like she's in a ball gown. And after there are operetta and two collectors with interval of how much? 2 weeks? After we already saw Cleo and Skeletor collector dolls, and they just made me to be so sad, because to me, honestly, they look flat and soulless, because I just see that there was so small amount of effort put into them. Like, they could be so much more interesting. Dolls, like, they don't even have art most of the time. The boxes, when I see, for example, Collector Draculaura box, or even like Hound Couture boxes, they are something unbelievable. They are masterpieces. But these dolls, I don't have the desire to keep them in box. And I mean, to me, it's very unclear why Mattel doesn't collaborate with artists, because there are so many amazing artists in Monster High community. Just like open Instagram and you will see so many masterpieces. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of people who would like to provide their artistic talent to make the dolls better. Yeah, positive pause, because I unboxed the towel and it is so cool. I really like the print, and yeah, I kept all the small things. I'm saying that I'm perfectionist in opening the boxes. Like, very sad that there was this tape and the box got a bit damaged, but anyway. And even like, I'm still not sure why, but something is very off with new molds of accessories. Not all, like some collector, for example, shoes and accessories, they are amazing, like new RuPaul's headpiece, it's incredible. But some pieces, they just look so not Monster High. They look, I can't even explain this. It's like too simple looking. Like the guitar of basic operetta and to take the guitar of new operetta. Take the mask of new operetta and to take the mask, for example, of Picture Day operetta. Something just screams not Monster High to me. I'm not sure whether it's forms, maybe like old forms were shaped differently. I personally would be more happy even if they would make the reboot. Of course, like, okay, G3, wonderful, let them be. But with the collector editions, it would be better if they released, for example, like at least one doll in a month. For example, they would limit themselves to collector and, for example, Hound Couture. It would provide each and every collector to be able to keep up with the release. They could even make them like a bit more pricey. I'm sure the true collectors, they would kind of pay $10 more for the doll if the doll would really worth it. But with this, there would not be like 100 dolls in 1 year with very questionable quality and backstory. They are good at collectors. They, like, most of the collectors, they are nice. There are several that I really don't like. Annabelle, for example. The new ones, the Creature, like older ones, Elvira, Greta, Pennywise, Grady Twins, they are incredible. Like Frankensteins, they are amazing. And kind of these are the dolls that I feel fine paying high sums amount of money because they're worth it. But these new collector edition ones, there are like too many dolls. And of course, like, I still, first of all, from perfectionistic tendencies, I really want to have each and every G1 doll, and as they are kind of referred to as G1, of course I want to have them, and I will buy them. But very soon probably they will ask me out of this house, because there is so many of them. And already, like, I'm talking about this, and I know that there will be at least 7 new dolls very, very soon. Mattel, please slow down a little bit. And Rochelle is almost free. It remained only to take this off, and the main thing is to try and not to bring any damage to the stoppers in her head, because again, like, I'm keeping everything. Not very easy to do it, but I will try. And here she is, amazing and very, very wonky Rochelle, but well, she's still very beautiful. With the G3, kind of, in my dreams, it would also be different by the plot and idea, but I guess about my perception of this G3 I will talk in some different video. But to sum up everything, well, I would be very glad to hear your opinion, whether you are enjoying that there are so many dolls, whether you are also drowning and suffocating like me in all these new upcoming releases, and whether you are crying because you can't find enough money for them, whether you are happy that you don't like them. Like, let me know everything. Me and Rochelle are saying goodbye to you, and see you in the next videos.